Hey, Warrior Saints, welcome to today's version of our Crucifixional Livestream version edition. We're all of the things. We're doing all of the things. We're very happy to have you beautiful people in with us on this glorious and fantastic Monday. It is Memorial Day. It is a day where we remember. It is a day where we look back. It's interesting. It also coincides. This past Saturday was the 15th anniversary of my mother's death. Which is a funny thing. Grief is weird, right? It's a thing that goes ebbs and flows. And on this kind of day, Memorial Day, when we have these things going in our minds, it just always strikes me. One thing in particular, the hopelessness of it all, right? Grief is funny because it comes back and forth and it keeps coming. Like today, I am 15 years without my mother, without talking to her, without, being able to have that conversation, without having to see her suffer as well. But I don't remember that part. I don't remember the suffering that she went through. I just remember how I feel and how frustrating it can be to not have people. And on a day like Memorial Day, often those are the thoughts, those are the feelings, those are the things that we have going through our minds. But St. Paul reminds us in 1 Thessalonians, which in the Orthodox Church, we actually read this passage during our funeral services. He says in chapter 4, verse 13, I would not have you ignorant about those who are asleep, that you sorrow as others who have no hope. We feel this hopelessness in our grief, in our missing of our loved ones, in our missing out on things. Like I think about the things that my mother has missed out on. Let's be real. I got married. She wasn't there. I now have 2 beautiful children. She's not there to see them grow, to interact with them. Makes me wonder, what would those interactions look like? What would they be like? But the reality is, if we have the hope of the resurrection that we do, then we understand that her going through the cross that was her suffering, and her going through, that was for her to have that salvation. And while grief may be a hopeless place, and we might often feel like we're in a desert of grief, then we lose sight of the hope. But the reality is that Christ's tomb is empty. He went through the cross to get into his empty tomb. And for us, by living our crucifixional lives, we are also able to get through there. So while we have those moments of grief, while we have those moments that keep coming back on days like Memorial Day or anniversaries of the death of a loved one, we are also reminded of the hope of the empty tomb. That at some point, that crucifixional living that we have lived is going to bring us through to the other side. And that's what we're here to help you through. That's what we're here to help you do. That's what we're here to help you with. We exist to help you get through the crucifixional living that you need to get through so that you can get to the empty tomb, so that you can go through the cross of your own lives and get to where you need to be. Visit us, warriorsaints.org. While you're there, subscribe to the Way of the Warrior Saint, our flagship program. In it, you will find a multitude of things, videos that deal with all kinds of topics, including one that's called The Desert of Grief, where we talk about grief. We talk in depth about the hopelessness that we all feel as we are going through the loss of loved ones, and also how we can come through the other side, recognizing that these feelings are going to keep coming back. They're not just going to go away one day. That it, all kidding aside, is a process. Just like life, just like living a crucifixional life, everything is a process. Visit us at warriorsaints.org. Let us help you through the processes that you are processing through. And until we see you tomorrow, have a happy Memorial Day and keep on walking on the way of the Warrior Saint.